DEVIKA Menon, our next speaker, is a passionate grade 12 student with a love for storytelling. She is a movie enthusiast and has always been captivated by how films reflect and shape our world. Today, she is thrilled to explore the fascinating evolution of Indian cinema with you all.
Winston Churchill once said, "To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often." Now, whether you find that quote mildly terrifying or highly inspiring depends on whether you love spontaneity and chase it like a thrill seeker on a roller coaster, or you avoid it like a test on a Monday morning. But here's the thing, whether we embrace it or resist it, change is inevitable and is the only constant in our lives. Hi, I am Devika, a grade 12 student navigating the whirlwinds of high school, teenage drama, and of course, exam anxiety. But today, I'm here to talk about something far more dramatic than my report card: Indian cinema. Yes, the Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, and a bunch of other woods you probably did not know existed. Now, growing up, I've realized there are two things that unite Indians across the globe: food and cinema. And if I had to bet on what has changed the most in the last decade, it definitely wouldn't be our love for butter chicken. Let's take a step back to where it all began. In 1913, Raja Harish Chandra, the first Indian cinema, graced the silver screen. It was silent. No dialogues, no catchy songs, no gravity-defying action sequences. You know what that means? Everyone had to interpret those scenes like it was a game of charades. Oh, the hero's sad? Oh, the hero's mad? Or maybe he's just really hungry. Who would know? These silent films laid the very foundation for an industry that would go on to redefine storytelling, emotion, and yes, even fashion. Soon, Indian cinema grew tired of the grayscale and monotony and decided to drench itself in color. Think of it like an Indian wedding: vibrant, extravagant, and unapologetically over the top. The 60s and the 70s brought us larger-than-life heroes like Amitabh Bachchan, who could solve any problem with a punch and a poetic line. This was the era of the angry young man. But more importantly, this was the era where cinema began reflecting the changing moods of the nation. Then came the 90s, where Indian cinema decided to experiment with genres like a chef with a spice rack. And we had it all: romantic sagas like Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, family dramas like Hum Aapke Hai Kaun, and action-packed blockbusters like Agnipath, where villains were thrown across the rooms as easily as cliches. These weren't just movies. They were cultural landmarks that resonated with audiences across the country and beyond. However, change in Indian cinema isn't just about the new stories. It's about how these stories are told. Enter 21st century, where Indian cinema had to face its biggest challenge yet: the digital age. Suddenly, we had streaming platforms that offered global content at the click of a button. We've seen it all, and we also saw the rise of indie cinema like Gangs of Wasepur and Lunchbox, showing us that Indian cinema could be gritty and nuanced while still retaining its unique flavor. And let's not forget the advent of superhero films like Krish and Minnal Murli, where we learned that in India, with great responsibility comes great dance numbers. Today, Indian cinema is braver, bolder, and better than before. We've seen movies like Padman and Thappad challenging cultural norms, while the great Indian Kichal and Kadal are tackling gender issues. Cinema is beginning to not only reflect on society, but pushing it forward, sparking social change. And how can we forget the role of women in this revolution? Directors like Payal Kapadia, Kiran Rao, Zoya Akhtar are not just making movies for entertainment. They're redefining what it means to be a woman in modern India. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well then, what's next? If the past is anything to go by, the future of Indian cinema is sure to be both unpredictable and spectacular. Maybe in 30 years, we'll actually watch movies in 4D where we get wet during the rain songs and our heroes come from artificial intelligence. Shah Rukh Khan 3.0, anyone? In the end, the evolution of Indian cinema is just like surviving high school, full of awkward phases, dramatic plot twists, and of course, even the occasional song and dance numbers. And if there's anything our beloved industry has taught us, it's how that no matter how many problems you face in life or how chaotic your life gets, there's always time for a dance break. So, whether you're riding the winds of change in school or in cinema, let's make sure to embrace it. Because just like they say in the movies, the best stories are yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Menon.